Thomas A. Brennan, class of 1956. A four-year member of the prep football team, Tom Brennan is the second member of the 1954 undefeated varsity football team to be inducted into the Hall of Honor. Tom graduated in 1956 and from Holy Cross in 1960. He attended Fordham Law, served as a reservist in the Marine Corps, and in 1962 married Elizabeth Rogan. Tom would have a 40-year legal career, primarily with the Hearst Corporation and later as the director of the Hearst Family Trust. Always generous with his time and energy, Tom served as a trustee of Immaculate Conception Church, governor of the New York Athletic Club, president of the Society of the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick in New York, and a trustee of Fordham Prep. Tom passed away on August 24, 2016. Brendan Dolan, class of 1982. A standout quarterback on the varsity football team, his athletic and academic talents would bring him to the University of Rochester, where he played both football and rugby. After college, Brendan worked as a runner in the pits of the New York Mercantile Exchange and soon gained a reputation as an extraordinary trader. On October 8, 1994, Brendan married Stacy Weinstein, and together they had two daughters, Sarah and Samantha. The Dolans moved to Glen Rock, New Jersey, and their home quickly became a gathering place for family and friends. On the morning of September 11, 2001, Brendan was in a meeting on the 92nd floor of the North Tower. In the words of one college friend, Brendan was a best friend to a lot of people. He was always there when you needed him. Walter J. Higgins, class of 1931. A 1931 graduate, Wally, as he was known, was a standout in basketball and football and was involved in planning many prep social events. He would go to Columbia and graduate in 1935. Walter would remain close to the prep throughout his adulthood, and in 1969, Fordham Prep, newly independent from the university, named Walter its first chairman of the Board of Trustees. Nearly 48 years ago to the day, Walter helped break ground for Shea Hall. He would remain a trustee emeritus of the prep until his death in 1992. Walter A. Kinsella, 1917. Walter Kinsella was born on August 16, 1900 to Irish immigrants. Not much is known about Walter's prep days, except that he was a musician and decorated athlete, mostly for local clubs and not prep teams. His after-school job was at a local film studio, Edison Studios. Considered a member of the class of 1917, Walter left the prep mid-semester that year to serve in the Marines in World War I. Returning from Europe, Walter embarked on a decades-long modeling and acting career, with roles in such programs as Dick Tracy, Perry Mason, and Hitchcock Presents. Although Walter passed away in 1975, he lives on in digital recordings of his life's work. Honorable Juan Tomas McManus y Gonzalez, 1867. Born in Chihuahua, Mexico in 1854, Juan Tomas and his brother Ignacio came to St. John's College in 1864 and would graduate in 1871. While at Rose Hill, Juan Tomas played on some of the first prep and university baseball teams. In 1871, he returned to Mexico and became involved in real estate, international trade, mining, and banking. He was soon recognized as a prominent financial figure in the U.S., Mexico, and Europe. In 1879, he married Carolina Schleiteleg y Savine. Together they would have 9 children, 3 of whom themselves would graduate from the prep and university. Reverend Michael Nash, S.J. Born in Ireland, he came with his father to America in the 1830s and was ultimately left in the care of a small Jesuit community in Louisville, Kentucky, on the edge of what was then the American frontier. After entering the Society of Jesus in 1844, Nash and 5 other Jesuits were sent in 1846 to help staff the 1st and 2nd divisions of St. John's College in New York. Upon arrival, Father Nash was made prefect of the 2nd Division. He was the first dean of Fordham Prep. After a year in the Bronx, Nash would be sent as part of a group of Jesuits to found a school between 15th and 16th Streets, Xavier High School. His life as a Jesuit would carry him throughout North America with stops in Ontario, Montreal, and throughout the Northeastern New England. In 1861, he was called upon to be chaplain of the 6th New York Infantry Regiment during the Civil War. In 1863, he returned to Fordham to be the president of the prep and university. By the time of his death 30 years later, in 1895, Father Nash had left his mark not only on Fordham Prep, but on some of the most hallowed Jesuit institutions in America.